Hey everybody, welcome to this Caregiver Coffee. My name is Matthew Estrad. I'm a gerontologist in St. Tammany Parish, and I've been partnering with COAST, or the Council on Aging in St. Tammany, for over 10 years. All of that time as the weekly caregiver support group facilitator, and for a lot of that time as a consultant, advisor, trainer, and educator for both staff and clients. And I'm very glad to be bringing you a really cool topic, one of my favorite topics, and that's utilizing music in a scientific way, um, using a scientific protocol to help to prevent or ease agitation in persons living with dementia. So what that means is, sometimes people, folks who are living with dementia, they get irritated for many reasons, and it's hard for us to tell. They may not want to be bathed, even though it's time for that. Or they may not want to go to an appointment, or they may just be, kind of like restless and pacing and things like that. So, and many times they're not able to describe what is causing this uneasiness and this agitation, as we call it generally. And so music has been proven to help ease that and even sometimes prevent that when it started before any kind of the symptoms of agitation. So I'll tell you more about that in this brief education, this caregiver coffee. So before we do that, um, I want to tell you a little bit about the caregiver support group that I am very fortunate and blessed to facilitate and have been doing for 10 years, like I mentioned. I do this spiel before every part of just about every video on education, just in case this is the only one you see. I don't know that. So anyway, so I facilitate the group, and we have, let's see, we're on a weekly basis, so at least 4 times a month, and we've been doing that for a long time. We meet from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. on Tuesdays. The basic format, if you're looking at the month overall, the first Tuesday of the month at 6 p.m., we're at the Slidell Activity Center on Cousin Street in Slidell. And then the next Tuesday, the second Tuesday of the month, we're on the Zoom platform. That's actually what I'm recording on right now. So you can join us by your computer. You can join us on your smart tablet. You can join us on your smartphone, or you just call in with your smartphone, or even with a landline phone if you have one. So as long as you have the touch tones, you can do that. So I hope that you'll consider, joining us in any of these modalities. The third Tuesday, we are in person again, but we're in Covington at the Covington Senior Center on North 10th off of Highway 190 in Covington. And then the fourth Tuesday, and sometimes the fifth Tuesday, if there is one and we get approval, we meet back on Zoom slash phone slash tablet, etc. So I hope that all of those are attractive to you. I actually have had people who have come to both the Covington and to the Slidell ones in person, maybe not to Zoom, but they really like coming, every other week for that. So, but we have some people who join just via Zoom. So it's really just, whatever you're most comfortable with. We want you to feel like you can just show up. There's no reservation. You don't have to call ahead. It's okay if you miss weeks or months, or I've had people join us for a couple of times and then not come back for another year because life got busy for them, or they received what they needed for the time, but then new challenges popped up, so then they came back. So however you want to do it, it is very informal. I feel like we have a great atmosphere, a great personality of the groups. Um, so I hope you'll consider that. If you cannot make Tuesday evenings, for any reason, maybe you have an appointment, or you have a group or a social group, or you have caregiving responsibilities in particular on Tuesday evenings. If that is the case, let me know. I know a lot of the care group facilitators in the greater New Orleans area, both in person and online, and I'd love to help you get into a group, or that's not the right word because they're always welcoming. But I'd like to tell you about other groups that you can consider if you can't make ours, or if this one just doesn't work for you. So, thanks for listening to that. So, with that, oh, and please tell people about the support group, because you just never know. Most people will need a support group at some season of their life. If not now, it might be later. Just kind of know that we're around, and there are others out there in the community so that you don't feel like you're alone. So you can be with other people who get it and understand what you're facing. And that can be taking care of someone who's living with dementia, which is our topic today, or it could be you're taking care of someone who's older and has cancer or has diabetes, or just you're taking care of you just generally over them generally. There's not any kind of paperwork or diagnosis that is needed, etc. So all right, on with this really cool topic of music and dementia. So this is something I discovered over 10 years ago. It's the work of Dr. Linda Gardner, who is a now retired professor from Stanford in California. And she and her team, she's a nurse researcher, and what she and her team did was to create a protocol or sort of like a format, an agenda of how to deliver music to someone living with dementia. And they tested this protocol, and they found that when used, most of the time, it will decrease or even prevent agitation from even occurring in someone who's living with dementia. So I'm going to kind of go through the protocol in a very simple way. There are 5 basic steps, and I'm gonna tell you about a website that I have that has an article I wrote about it that has some infographics that I created, and you even have access for free to some video that she did on the topic and her actual protocols if you really wanted to dig in and learn more about it. Maybe you're a professional and you want to be able to deliver this to a T. You can find the assessments and whatnot that I'll talk about here. All right, so I told you there's 5 steps. The first one is, and actually I'm going to tell you the 5 steps real quick, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to go into detail. The first one is to establish, okay, is this person that I'm taking care of, either my family member, my friend, or even professionally, I have a client, maybe you're a sitter, or other social and medical professional. Is this person that I'm taking care of, are they a good candidate for this intervention? But don't let the word intervention scare you. It's, anyone can do this. Um, don't have to have any medical or social or professional experience. Next is to learn more about the agitation. Number 3 is to discover what are their musical preferences. Excuse me. The fourth one is to play the music, and the fifth one is to evaluate your attempt at playing the music, or what kind of effect did the music have. So I'm gonna come back and we'll go through each of these. All right, so who is a candidate? So we're talking about persons living with dementia. And just quick aside, um, this can be for, music is great for most people. So this could be for caregivers, as well, and anyone else like that's feeling some kind of stress. Okay, so all right. All right, so anyway, back to dementia. The focus is on dementia right now. All right, so the person living with dementia. So a good candidate is someone who experiences agitation, and they have enjoyed music for all or most of their life. And when I kind of got when I got started with talking about this and writing about this about Dr. Gardner's work, I thought everyone loved music because I love music, and most people that I know love music. I usually have music on. I play music amateur in an amateur way. I enjoy playing the drums. I like singing around the house, and so there's that it helps out. A person who likes music is more apt to respond to this particular protocol. I have learned, though, in my professional career, in talking about this with people and in groups, and even one-on-one in consultations, not everyone grew up or live their life listening to music and enjoying music. I'd say most people, but I have found quite a few people who just they never listen to the radio in the car or anything like that, and that is fine. And I'm not saying that you can't try or shouldn't try this protocol, because there might be those one or two songs that may work for that person that they just loved, that have some kind of special connection. So, but basically, overall, generally, someone who enjoyed music, not necessarily played music, although that makes it even better and can have a bigger impact. Next is to learn more about the agitation. So you have your person living with dementia and you want to try this out. You know they like music, or maybe you're not sure, but you know that they're feeling agitation. They're getting restless, or they have repetitive movements like hitting their hand on the table or the chair, or they're constantly pacing around the house, or they're trying to leave the house. And this may, like, if you sort of track this even in a journal, you may find that there's a pattern to this. It might be a certain time of the day. It might when you're trying to perform a certain task with them, not to them or at them, but a task. So that might be bathing. It might be eating, feeding. It might be what's another one? Getting dressed. It might be walking or trying to get someone to drink water. So there might be certain tasks where someone gets frustrated, but these are necessary tasks to do with them. It also could be a certain time of the day. Many people are familiar with the phenomenon of sundowning, and that simply means that when someone who's living with dementia, they start to get tired towards the late afternoon and early evening. So they start there. You might even say they, have a personality change in a way, where they get frustrated or they get antsy and they start asking questions more often, etc. So you want to kind of track these things and say, okay, it's during these tasks or it's during around this time. All right, so that's set. So we'll come back to the whole thing that you discovered with the patterns. Next is to discover their musical preference. Now, you could look at someone's record or CD collection or 8-track collection, or you can know that what concerts they went to, or you may know you may know the song that they danced to at their wedding, or you may know these specific songs already, or you can use Dr. Gardner's assessment. I want to say it's 2 pages, and it's pretty easy. It's just asking you questions like, who's your favorite artist? What's your favorite genre? What are some songs that have special meanings? So like I mentioned, like the song that you danced to at your wedding, that's gonna be a special song that most people remember, and there's an emotional connection. Or a special song that you share for some kind of event or a concert you all went to, or something like that. So there are many songs and artists and such that have a special meaning. So you want to kind of find out what those are, because those tend to lift our moods. Some may not, but so we are looking for ones that will lift our moods. All right, so we have our music preference now. So now we're going to, what I call is just press play. Now you're going to play the music, and you can do it with a Bluetooth speaker. You can do it with a CD player, if you still have a system, that sort of thing. Generally, you want to do it with speakers, because you can do earbuds, but sometimes that's problematic, and you don't know how loud it's going to be for that person. It's hard to tell. And so you play the music. Now, when do you play the music? Well, it's great to play music, I think, like all the time. But if we're looking at the scientific protocol, you want to play the music at least 30 minutes before you you feel like, or you sense that there's going to be an onset of agitation. For example, if around 3:30, most days, your person who's living with dementia starts to feel agitated, antsy, and have all these things that we're talking about. You want to start the music at least 30 minutes. It can be more, but at least 30 minutes before. that typical onset of agitation. And so that's just kind of what the marker, the benchmark that Dr. Gardner gives us. Now you can do it, of course, all day, or you can play it an hour beforehand if you want to. And this could be, remember, it's 30 minutes before the onset, the typical onset. So if it's 3:30, you start playing at 3. It could also be 30 minutes prior to a task that you're going to perform with them. If it's not so much a time, it's more of a task, like a bathing, very typical, can be stressful for somebody. And I'm not saying music is going to solve that, but music can, if not solve it, it can be a piece to the puzzle to help out with that. All right, so we play the music. That's the fourth step. And then the fifth step is to evaluate. Like, how did it work? Basically, how did it work? Did they seem to calm down? Did they seem better today than they were yesterday, if this is your first time? And then you're going to use that to inform your music selection and your timing for next time. And you basically take some notes. And you're going to do this over a period of a week, a couple of weeks, or even more. And you're looking for patterns and you're looking to see, is this really helping? And hopefully it is. And then you want to tweak it however you want to. What I really like about this protocol is that it doesn't tell you what you have to do. It's just telling you like what the evidence, what the study showed Dr. Gardner and her team, and then you kind of adapt your timing, you adapt the type of music. Maybe you played some music that didn't work great, and you think, or you bring, or still keep that one because that one worked, but you keep thinking of other ones. So you keep just evolving and getting better as we do with all tasks. And it might be awkward at first. Um, but I would encourage you to stick with it, even if it doesn't work the first day or the first week. Just keep trying to refine your process, and see how you can utilize this evidence-based or science-based method in preventing or soothing agitation in someone living with dementia. So if you want to find out more information, you can go to a site that I have. It's called peacewithdementia.com/music. peacewithdementia.com/music. We'll have information. It's all free. It has the steps. It has an article that I wrote. It's got Dr. Gardner's instruction manual, basically. It's got a video, about a 27-minute video that she did to the public about that with examples and everything. So one thing that I forgot that I want to mention is that what Dr. Gardner found is that if the person is of a certain of a ethnicity, has like um, really loves like their Italian roots or their German roots or their Scandinavian roots or their Mexican roots, their Spanish roots, their European roots, etc. So if they have ties, strong ties to their heritage, playing that particular music can be especially um, helpful because they may not hear it all the time, and certainly you may not be hearing it on the radio when you're in the car. So I want to encourage you to think about that and think about spiritual music, gospel music, worship music, and especially music from one's childhood can really be soothing and catch their attention and lift their mood. We're trying to lift their mood, and so I'm really excited about you sticking around to watch this whole video and to learn these things. I'm excited about you trying this. If you do try this, and let me know how it works, good or bad. Let me know how it works. Just leave a comment wherever you see this on Facebook or YouTube. Let me know how it worked. And if you need any pointers, I'll try to do that if I see the message. So thank you for watching this. Thanks for paying attention. Thanks for sharing this if you found it valuable. And certainly hope that it is. And I look forward to being on your screen and another Caregiver Coffee. Take care.